It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the NFC West. It's the Cardinals and the Niners, and it comes your way next.
The onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis to my left, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, it's a good time to be a 49er fan. The roster is loaded. You got stars on both sides of the ball. The time seems like it's now. Aside from health, what needs to happen for the Niners to make a Super Bowl run?
Well, if you're a team trying to play them, you're always trying to figure out how do I slow down an offense that seems to morph and change from week to week and attack defense's weaknesses. And then on the other side, how are you going to block those pass rushers? How are you going to block those guys who get after the quarterback on every snap? Good luck. This is a loaded 49ers team.
And for the visiting Cardinals, this is a team in flux a little bit. J.J. Watt retired. There's a new coaching staff in place. They've got some work to do to turn around what was a 4-13 campaign in 2022.
I remember this franchise won 11 games in 2021, but everything's new now. Head coach, the way they're going to run things on offense, style of play on defense, but sometimes that change can be really good.
Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
What a pickup this man was last year. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first two plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's a 2nd and 8. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 44 yards. And the 49ers are on the board first here this afternoon. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said. Better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Moody good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And a touchback as Dortch elects not to return it. So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" QB from the University of Tennessee. It's Joshua Dobbs.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
First carry for James Conner. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Back to throw Dobbs. Finds his running back, James Conner. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Dobbs is throwing. That's complete to Michael Wilson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So their defense gave up the opening drive touchdown, and now, Charles, they're going to look to work this ball down the field and get the equalizer.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of balance in how you're thinking and how you're approaching this game because the way things go in the NFL today, that opening touchdown often changes your strategy. You feel like you have to match everything right here, right now. I like the way they're being methodical on offense here on their first drive, hoping to get the equalizer, but not forcing anything.
A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Right back to Conner here on first. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Now Dobbs. That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now we'll throw here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 5, and now we've got a 3rd and 4. Throwing here, Dobbs. On the check down, it's Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw is Dobbs. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Dobbs to throw. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And defensively, they had an extra defensive back on the field, their nickel package, and it made a difference. All the receivers were blanketed, so he tried to run for it, but he came up just a bit short.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Now, 4th and short, heads your offense out there. That one stings.
And you know something? Your options change dramatically. Not only is it tougher to go for it, but what if you decided just to line up and try and draw them off sides? If you did it on 4th and short, you could pick up the cheap first down. Now, you still won't get a first down even if you do exactly the same thing.
So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. This one from 35 yards away. Prater's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal.
Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again. But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll let the QB keep it here off the option.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Back to throw, Purdy.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
On the return, Dort.
Now a hit and a loose football.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Still 2nd down.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Throwing here, Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give running left. It's McCaffrey. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Here's Purdy.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
The sack goes to Chris Barnes.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Purdy now to throw. And it's caught. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick here is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will start with Connor. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dobbs. To Connor on the check down. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
To throw on 3rd down, Dobbs. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Purdy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey and able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They begin on the ground here with Connor, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Here's Dobbs to throw. Man open left side is Brown. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and a yard. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Dobbs. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. An option handoff given to counter. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Dobbs. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to get it back here just past the 35.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
2nd and 10. Purdy. That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 44-yard line. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that earns them a fresh set of downs. McCaffrey on the counter. And he's got room. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 87 yards now for McCaffrey. It's a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
Purdy completes this one here to McCaffrey, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Hauled in left side here by Jennings. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Out of the gun, Purdy. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Purdy sets up to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. They'll run for it. McCaffrey, and across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the 49ers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They start the drive with Cotter. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game. Or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. And that flag accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more.
They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half.
Now a 2nd and 2. Purdy looking to throw. Gets this one a use check. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Back to throw, Purdy.
His throw incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Purdy.
That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 39. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Purdy will look to throw again here. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Here's Purdy. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as it will come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports halftime report. The Niners got a solid first-half outing by their second-year quarterback, Brock Purdy. He's got a touchdown through the air as his guys have raced out to a gigantic early lead.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now 2nd and 9. Again, it's Connor. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it, and the running game is starting to pay off.
And Dobbs is going to be swallowed up as he'll go down. Cleveland Farrell, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Connor on the toss left side. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10, right at the 30. He'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Purdy. And his throw is incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
He was looking for Jawan Jennings that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Purdy now to throw. This will be caught at Samuel. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals 36. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And they get Pro Bowl tackle Trent Williams for the infraction there.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now Purdy. He returns it right back to Samuel. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 109 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Purdy. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Operating from the gun. Purdy. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
But tell the statistician to add another one to their impressive total today. Great week for the defensive front. A tough one for that offensive line. Quarterback getting right back behind that line hoping for more time to attempt a likely third down pass.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Shotgun now with Purdy.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And the lead will stay put at 17.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, the football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They start with a give to counter. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On play action, it's Dobbs.
And this will be swung out here for counter.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Dobbs. That is caught. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Dobbs throw here complete into the hands of Ertz.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
From the 21, here's a 2nd and 4.
Dobbs is throwing. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Dobbs.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Prater's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. They run behind center with Connor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. Again, a run with Connor. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now loose football. The ball comes out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues.
Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And how he got away from that first tackler, no idea, but he did, and it winds up with positive yardage.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
2nd and 7. Purdy.
And this is caught. Jennings. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Well, if you like the guys who run the ball, you're enjoying watching this. But the other guys, especially the defense coordinator, trying to figure out an answer on how to slow down the running game, I think maybe he starts to call more blitzes, because you can call run blitzes in order to try and get more people to the point of attack.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll give it up to McCaffrey.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision, and boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, 3rd and 7 now.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And the lead will stay put at 17. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing here, Dobbs. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Now Dobbs. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. On the check down, it's Ingram. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. Pitch and catch there good for 13. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the one tackle but couldn't spring himself free. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. The football will come out to the 25 as McLeod will not return it. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. That ball caught, Brandon Ayuk. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Purdy off the play fake. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 28. A gain there of 21 yards.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Jennings. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target, and it's third down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture as now they've got a 1st and 10. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
McCaffrey fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Extra point try now for Moody. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Screen pass to Connor. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Dobbs now on 2nd down. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Dobbs to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done. And
there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw, Dobbs. Got his man, it's Dortch. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And quickly, they get to the line. Dobbs. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passing we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Samuel. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Now, that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. So the victory here for San Francisco, and we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.